What's up, bullish friends? Hope you guys are doing well out there today. And I want to get into this story about the Binance, about what's going on with them, and what Charles Hoskinson just said on Twitter just the other day. Some pretty alarming stuff, but I think he has some very valid point. And I want to cover this today and give it a little bit of thought and a little bit of detail, because I do think it's extremely important that we have this discussion. Now, what is going on? Well, the SEC is suing Binance, basically alleging them of violating U.S. securities laws. Okay, so basically accusing them of skirting and circumventing these laws that are laid out by the security laws. Now, whether or not that's true or not, we'll leave that up to everyone to fight about that and the courts to decide. Well, they released a 130-page document complaint on this. Now, I have not read the whole thing. If you guys want to read through that, feel free. I don't have that kind of free time to dive in, and I'm not crazy enough to start trying to read that. But what Charles Hoskinson came out and said, if you don't know who that is, it's the founder of Cardano. He came out and said that with respect to Binance, I'm reading through the SEC complaint. It's over 130 pages, but seems like the next in a series of steps to implement Choke Point 2.0 in the United States. The end goal is an agenda-based CBDC partnered with a handful of massive banks and end-to-end control over every aspect of your financial life. Now, just to interject here, you guys have heard me talk several times in the past about upcoming FedNow and potentially upcoming CBDCs and the disaster that would spell for crypto, okay? So, think about that, and then that highlights this first paragraph he's talking about. Now, he continues, a regulatory event is where you have a debate about compliance with a law or guidance. This event seems to be a political, philosophical disagreement with the very existence of cryptocurrencies and what they represent. An unregulated group of people have decided that concepts like self-sovereign identity, owning your wallet, and the freedom to control your economic agency should be removed from the masses and given to the enlightened few. Honestly, what is happening isn't anything new. It's always the same fight between freedom and authoritarianism, just with different players, technology, and words. It does seem like this event is a perfect opportunity for the entire industry to set aside its fragmented nature and unite for a common sense set of rules and guidelines that can prevent the United States from slipping into a dystopia that would make 1984 look like a vacation. I'll have more to say later, but we'll close with we are going to be fine, everything's all right, and the future is bright for the industry. Now, that's pretty alarming stuff, because if you've ever read 1984, that's not a good it's not a good scenario for the country. It's not a good scenario for the world, in fact, because if that goes everywhere, that's going to be a disaster. And his point here about the fragmented nature of crypto, well, by its very nature, cryptocurrencies are somewhat fragmented because it's decentralized. There's no centralized figure in control of it. And that's what makes cryptocurrencies powerful also, because there's no centralized agency in control over it. Well, what happens though is when you have all these fragmented pockets, you have let's say, for instance, all these different coins, okay? You'll have a lot of various infighting between people who, let's say, like are Bitcoin maxis who don't like any of the altcoins, and all these people who love altcoins but constantly hate Bitcoin, when we're all really under the same umbrella. And I think most people who are in crypto not only want to make money, but I think they ultimately want their own financial freedom. They want to be free from a broken old world system. And the centralized powers that be right now seem to be pushing for a centralized platform for cryptocurrencies where there's currently there's no real regulations in place, which is a good thing and a bad thing. The bad part is it leads to things like this, where the SEC can go and sue Binance over them violating some laws that may or may not exist, where they call certain cryptos and certain things in crypto a security. And it's not it's not clear cut. Otherwise, these companies probably wouldn't be doing anything that would violate those. So there's no clear cut regulation. There's no clear idea of what these laws actually are. So the lawsuit in general, who knows how this will pan out? It could just be something to tie Binance up. But the problem going forward is if they can do this kind of stuff to Binance, they'll go after all the other big crypto firms as well. So Coinbase, all of them, and all of them, in fact. So it doesn't really matter which one they are. And this is where everyone who's involved in crypto, who has a high level of status in the crypto community, needs to be speaking out against this kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be, it's just going to be bad worldwide for crypto, what's going to go on. So anyway, that's just my take on it. I just found this very interesting, and I wanted to share this with you guys. I will link to both the article, and I will link over to what Charles said here, and you guys can read this for yourself. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next video.